Christmas is adults only this year, Mom said, her voice sharp as icicles. Go find your own plans. That was it. No warmth, no explanation, just dismissal. 2 days later, their Instagram lit up. Smiling faces at Aspen Peak Resort. Matching sweaters, champagne flutes raised against snow-dusted windows. I sat in my office, the same city they had flown through and ignored me in. Snow tapped against the glass, quiet but insistent. I stared at their photos until my jaw ached from the grind. And then, without hesitation, I picked up the phone. "Guest services?" "This is Harrison," I said, calm as winter fog. "Yes, I'm calling about the suite under our name. We won't be needing it. Please relocate us. Family emergency. The room should go to paying guests." I gave them the reservation code. Their suite, their comfort, their perfect holiday, gone with one phone call. I wasn't always this cold. Once I would have begged to be included. Back then, I was the one carrying Christmas. I bought the tree, the gifts, the food. When Dad lost hours at work, I paid their mortgage to keep the house from foreclosure. When my sister wanted grad school, I co-signed her loan. When Mom's health bills piled, I sold my car. I gave until I was hollow. But last year, when my business began to rise, when my hours stretched late into polished boardrooms, they stopped seeing me as family. I became a wallet with legs. I remember Thanksgiving. My sister leaned back in her chair, swirling wine, and said, "You'll cover the bill, right? You're doing so well." Everyone laughed. I smiled too, but inside, something snapped. It wasn't about money. It was about being erased. They didn't want me at the table, just what I could put on it. So when Mom said Christmas was adults only, I knew what she meant. No ATM, no me. I didn't call them, didn't fight, didn't beg. Instead, I planned. I knew Aspen Peak. I had stayed there once during a corporate retreat. Their reservation system was strict, but policy was clear. Only confirmed, prepaid reservations guaranteed a room. And I knew my parents. They loved to work connections, slipping cash to clerks for upgrades, promising payments later. One phone call from a calm, confident voice with the right details, their suite would vanish into someone else's pocket. I timed it perfectly. Christmas Eve. They had just checked in, posted a photo in front of the fireplace. I waited 2 hours, enough time for them to unpack, relax, order champagne. Then I called. And Aspen Peak followed policy. Later, I found out how it unfolded. A family from Chicago walked in with a confirmed reservation. My parents' suite was reassigned. Security knocked on their door. My mother's shrill protests could be heard in the lobby, my sister snapping photos to report the injustice. But policy is policy. Bags out, room gone. They spent Christmas not by the fire, not at their table for 12, but in a roadside motel 20 miles down the mountain. A place with peeling paint and thin blankets. Their Aspen dream collapsed into fluorescent reality. And I poured myself a drink and let the snow fall. The best part wasn't the humiliation. It was the silence. They never connected it to me. They blamed the hotel, the staff, the system. Not once did they think of the child they'd shut out. That's what betrayal does. It blinds you. They couldn't imagine I'd learned their tricks, that I'd use their own arrogance against them. 3 weeks later, my phone buzzed. Mom. I let it ring. Then Dad. Then my sister. Finally, a voicemail. "We need to talk. We know you had something to do with Aspen. This childish behavior has to stop. We're family." Family. The word tasted bitter. I deleted the message without listening to the end. Revenge isn't about shouting. It's not about throwing plates or making scenes. It's about precision, timing, silence. It's about letting them feel the cold they once gave you. They taught me that. This year, snow falls again outside my office. My desk is heavier now, papers stacked with contracts, partnerships, plans. My company is growing. My life is mine. And theirs? Well, they'll post fewer photos this holiday. Maybe none. Because Aspen doesn't take connections anymore. It takes cash. It takes commitment. Two things they never understood. Do I regret it? Not for a second. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't break laws. I didn't even lie. I simply stepped back. And with one phone call, I reminded them I wasn't their wallet. I wasn't their fool. I was the snowstorm they never saw coming. And when the storm hit, it buried them in silence.